Hello everybody and welcome back! Today's video review is for DX Dynaman. Dynaman was first released by Poppy Japan in 1983. The version we have here was released by Bandai America under the Godaikin toy line in 1984. Back then, you could acquire Dynaman for $70 and adjusted for inflation in 2021, that's valued at $180 today. Dynaman first aired in Japan in 1983. It aired in America in 1988 as a parody show for Night Flight. Without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox Dynaman to see what's inside. Let's unbox Dynaman. The first thing we see is the instruction manual, and we have here the item number. We also have the copyright from TV Asahi Toei. Alright, we can see here the contents of the package and the photos of what's inside. Transformation sequence. And of course, Dynaman was part of the 1984 toy line. This was Wave 2, and these are the available toys for that time. We have Tetsujin, God Sigma, Sun Vulcan. That's also from Super Sentai. We have Guardian, Daltanius, Go Lion, Goggle 5. That's also Sentai, Voltus 5, Dynaman, Daimos, Abega, Daitetsujin, Leopardon, Dynaman, and Denjin. And of course, we have here a copy manual. Basically the same thing. And here we can see the parts for Dynaman. We have Dyna Shield, Dynasword. We have 6 yellow missiles. I have misplaced the assorted cards. We have Dynamac, Dynamobile, and Dynagary. Let's take out the cover to see what's inside. Let's begin with Dynamac. This is the head for Dynaman, and it's done in beautiful chrome. We have the eye plate in red and the bottom portion here in chrome. That's also true for the flaps at the rear. And to transform him to jet, all we have to do is just slide the upper portion downward and raise the landing gear. And there we have Dynamac. Let's look at Dynamobile now. And to transform him into alt mode, we begin by lifting the chest upward. At the rear, you'll see a yellow clip that corresponds to this hole over here, and they will click and lock into place. Next is we want to fold the arms upward and then push them inward. And that will slide in. That's also true for the other side. Slide up, slide in. And these wheels can fold down one by one, and they will lock in. Let's look at the emblems under. Here we can see the DX Chogokin sign, followed by the Dynaman logo and the Poppy ID, which is GB96. We'll notice that in 1983, Bandai already acquired Poppy, and Poppy no longer existed as a company back then. So you won't see the Poppy logo on Dynaman. Let's set him down. Let's now look at Dynagary. The first thing we'll see are 3 yellow clips. And what you want to do is push this down so that the other end goes up and it will lock into place. There we go, that's one. There's the other. Let's push the third one. Satisfying click. And let's get the other pair. These 3 clips will lock into place on the other side. Let's go and do that right now. Very satisfying. And what you want to do next is you want to push these switches up so that the trailer can move the other direction. Let's do that right now. Push upward and the trailer goes up. These wheels can pull downward. Let's go do that right now and pull. That locks into place. Let's go to the other side. There we go. And to complete the transformation, we want the wheels for Dynagary to fold outward. And there we have it, Dynagary in truck mode. And here we have the Dyna vehicles. We have Dynamac, Dynamobile, and Dynagary. Let's look at the gimmicks for each vehicle. And Dynamac is just a jet, he doesn't do much. But Dynamobile can actually fire missiles. Let's go ahead and put 2 inside. One on the left and one on the right. These can fire once you push the yellow buttons on the side in 3, 2, 1, fire. Perfect. And of course, Dynagary has a gimmick of being a truck, and that happens by pulling these clips at the rear. There we go, that's one. There's the other. Let's put Dynamobile on top. And there are slots over here to secure Dynamac so he doesn't move over. And there we go, that's the alt mode for Dynaman. Let's now transform Dynaman from carrier to robot. Let's begin with Dynamobile. But the first thing we want to do is fold the chest upward, and that reveals that portion. Let's push the wheels back at the rear. Then we can pull out the arms. Okay, let's set this aside. Let's transform Dynagary. And the first thing we want to do is push these buttons at the rear so that the wheels go up. Let's do that right now. There goes one. And let's click the other one. Okay. And let's slowly bend the knees. And the trailer will slide inward. And we can take out the legs. And you want to be extra careful with these clips because they do break over time. You have to remember this toy was made in 1983, and in some versions these could actually break out, and once they're broken they cannot connect back in. So let's fold these clips inward. It's 1, 2, 3. Of course we want to fold the wheels inward too. Now let's put the legs on Dynaman. And last is the head. All we want to do is pull the canopy going upward. There we go. And that's the head, and it will just insert and shoot in Dynaman and lock into place. There we go. This Dynaman is the US version. Let's put him beside the Japanese version to see the differences. If we look closely, the eyes from the Godaikin version is red. This Japanese version is brown. And if we look backwards, we can see that the canopy in the US version is blue, and for this Japanese version it's brown. Also, if we look at the outer rim, we can see that this is black and this is white for the Japanese version. Of course, some Japanese versions are also like this, except instead of brown, they're also blue. But most of the time, the wheels at the back are always ever white. The black ones are normally seen in the US version, and if you look at these tires, this one is made of solid plastic. This one is made of rubber. Let's equip Dynaman with his weapons. We have here his sword. And this is very unique as the sword can actually detach. See? This one's made of plastic and this one's chrome. And this is the only robot I know that can actually do and have this gimmick. And let's put that in his hand. And we also have the Dyna Shield. Let's go put it in his arm to see how it looks. And there we have Dyna Robo. He isn't exactly the best looking robot compared to all the other robots from the 80s, like Sun Vulcan and Goggle Robo before him. Let's compare the Godaikin version with the Japanese versions. Let's go ahead and set aside the Godaikin version here. Here we have the Japanese version, and here's another Japanese version. At the front, they all look the same, but we have to account that the first version of Dynaman had brown eyes for the Japanese version. The second version had red tinted eyes, just like the US version. And let's go ahead and look at the back. This is the Godaikin version. You can see that it has a black rim with blue canopy. The Japanese version has a brown canopy with a white rim, and the other Japanese version has blue with a white rim. So that's how you can tell them apart of which Dynaman you have. And it's easy to tell the US version because the wheels are made of plastic and the Japanese ones have rubber on them for both sides. Let's weigh Dynaman and its individual components. Dynamach weighs in at 0.7 ounces. Dynamobile weighs 11.1 ounces. And Dynagary weighs 10.7 ounces. Let's see how heavy Dyna Robo is. He weighs 22.4 ounces. In closing, we can see that Dyna Robo is pretty mediocre. I wouldn't recommend him, and it's an easy pass for me. If you can find one loose with a good price, I suggest you take it. Dyna Robo was first acquired in China Square, Singapore for $300 in 2012. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Join me again next time. Have a great day and goodbye.